Hello, my name is Chris Salem. We are here today to talk about how technology can help increase revenue and collections in your dental practice. Before we start, I'm just going to introduce everybody here. We have Naeem Vayvaria here, we have Ashley Best, and we have Cody Best with us. And each of them are going to be sharing you some valuable insights and how technology can be used correctly to help boost your revenue and your collections in your dental practice. Naeem, can you talk a little bit about setting the stage about how technology can better be used to really help dental practices scale their revenue and boost their collections moving forward?
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for that introduction. Hello, everyone. We've been doing this for dental practices for several years on, how to help them grow their practice. Client acquisition has been one of the biggest challenge. And one of the things that most of the dentists and clinics, or even the marketing companies, think about when it comes to how to grow their practices, like how to leverage marketing, how to increase their reach, how to spend money on digital marketing, email marketing, SEO, all those things, but we always kind of overshadow a fact that there's so much data that you have that you don't use. The technology has grown to a stage where it is allowing us to leverage what we got. Artificial intelligence is the big thing. I mean, it's helping you churn the data. We did utilize business intelligence in marketing to kind of identify the areas and the avenues where things can be addressed, or where the traffic is coming from, the demographics and all those things. But there is something very different and very unique, which none of us have touched. And that's what we are going to cover today, how artificial intelligence-based technology known as dental intelligence can help us, identify the information and leverage on that. And I say it like grow your practice without, investing an extra dime in marketing. I'll let Ashley talk more about this new technology and help us understand how it can help.
Thank you,
Great.
Naeem. Ashley, we look forward to you sharing on how this could take place.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the intro, Naeem and Chris. I am super excited to show you a few quick tips and tricks today. As Naeem said, it is critical to market your practice, right? In an ever-changing economy that we have, we want to replenish patients that may leave, get a new doctor, what have you, right? People move away, so we need to replenish. But what about the patients that are already in your practice? Your perhaps unengaged patients, maybe they're not considered active, or they are active, and we've got some outstanding treatment. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a few things today that I think will be really helpful in terms of being able to kind of take better advantage of that low-hanging fruit that Naeem mentioned. One of the things I want to talk about is the unscheduled patient territory within your practice. And generally, there are lots of them. So I'm going to spend a few moments focusing on this area here. It's this chart on the far right, titled Unscheduled Patients, and it's going to allow you to see the number of folks who have been into your dental practice in the last period of time. We have it broken out into smaller increments here, who are considered active last 18 months, and then beyond activity, right? They may be 18, 24, 36 months they haven't been in, but still viable opportunities for the practice. I really like to look at these more recent patients, though. So I'm going to hover over this area here. This practice I'm looking at has 300 patients that have been in the last 6 months, had their butt in the seat at the dental practice, and left without their next appointment scheduled. Tons of low-hanging fruit, right? Great to market our practice, but let's also market internally to these folks. I really enjoy this chart because we can click on it to see who it is. And of course, I'll have this grayed out for HIPAA reasons, but you'll be able to sort really strategically with this tool as well. So 300 might seem like a daunting number for someone at the office to go attack that list, right? Hey, it's going to take me a long time to get through these 300 folks. Let's sort by precedence. And I really, all these folks are important. They are due for a visit, but I like to schedule by sort by unscheduled treatment here. And what that simply does, that allows me to see people that have been presented treatment plans as you see on the top there, to the tune of $30,000. And then scroll down and start to, make your cutoff for the day. Hey, how many do I think I can get in front of today strategically? I don't want to just blast them with a generic message. Maybe my cutoff is $5,000 of unscheduled treatment. If I scroll down there, I see that maybe my goal for today is to get to these 50 people. Maybe that's a little too daunting. Maybe I should make it 10,000, but you understand the gist here. You can order these folks and kind of prioritize them based on what's most important in your practice, and then send some targeted outreach. So a really fascinating tool that I see a lot of practices can take advantage of from day one and really start to grow their practice. So I absolutely love that area of dental intelligence. Another area that I think is extremely important is the morning huddle. We've already talked about how we can grasp the low-hanging fruit for unscheduled patients. Now, what about the folks who are coming in? I want to look at today and tomorrow and see who's going to be in the practice and how can I best manage my day and my schedule and maximize my opportunity with the folks coming in. So as you'll see on this practice, their morning huddle, we're going to let them know who's coming in. They have 27 patients coming in, totaling more than 12,000 in production. A good day. They're above goal. Fantastic. But now what? What should I focus on with these 27 people coming in? Well, 27 of them outstanding family member visits. So funny that it's the same number, but jump in and see who has unscheduled family. What better way to get them to schedule than when they're right there? Hey, Cody, I noticed that so-and-so in your family has not been in or is due for their next appointment. Can we get that scheduled? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Unscheduled treatment, the same thing. 15 of those 27 patients have outstanding treatment that's been presented. They haven't said yes yet. Again, that face-to-face conversation, they're much more likely to agree to that than if we know that technology is powerful, email, voicemail drops, text messages even, but face-to-face, nothing beats that, right? 63,000 of unscheduled treatment. Let's get that on the books. 8 of those patients owe you money. Of course, we know how important it is to collect at our dental practice, right? We can produce, but if we don't collect, not too meaningful. So let's collect that $3,000 from those 8 people that do owe us money. And then, oh, by the way, 5 of those 27 are unscheduled for their next hygiene visit. And so that might mean they're coming in today to have a crown seated or whatever, procedure or treatments going on, but they're not on the schedule with any of the hygienists in the future. So we want to take time to focus on getting them on the schedule as well. So those are 2 really big areas, team, here that I absolutely love focusing on when we talk about low-hanging fruit. We also have an area called our patient finder. I'm not going to dive into this too much today because we could spend a lot of time on the patient finder, but we can start from scratch and build out a really interesting list here on patient finder. Start to add filter after filter. And of course, you might say, oh, couldn't I do this in my PMS? You could. It would just be very cumbersome and time consuming, right? So we can start to add filters. This practice has 2450 active patients that have been in the last 18 months. Now I want to start getting some particulars added. I don't just want to see everyone who's been in. I want to know who has a crown that's been presented that hasn't said yes, who also couple that with folks who have remaining insurance. We're halfway through the year. So, we've got a little bit of time left to use the benefits, but once the end of the year comes, those will reset. And so let's get them on the schedule. Let's let them know that we're here for them and that this is going to be a great way to not only take care of their oral health, but their full body health. So I enjoy those 3 areas when we speak about low-hanging fruit. Those are the top 3 that come to mind. So wanted to throw those out and really kind of give a high-level overview of those areas today.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Ashley. But one of the other things that we noticed based on our experience in discussing with the dentist, this piece doesn't only help the clinic identify the low-hanging fruits and kind of fill in the gaps or fill in the schedules that have been dropped off, or there's some more room. But if you notice one more thing, connecting with the patient at the right time kind of makes them feel that we care about them, that creates that engagement. They don't feel that the call to them is just for us to fill in the schedule or make money out of them, but they kind of feel connected, like, oh, wow, thank you so much for reminding me my treatment was due. Oh, I didn't even think about it. Or maybe the family member, like, oh, that's a good idea. Thank you so much. I can bring my son or my daughter with me. I didn't remember that they have pending treatment, that goodwill and that connection is really that takes you long way. That's more important than just rather calling them at a random time or calling them 6 months ago, 7 months ago, because you can't tackle a huge list on daily basis or by sorting it in alphabetical order, right? I mean, one of my friend, I mentioned this joke last time. Like one of my friends said, "Man, I'm not worried about getting the calls from the dentist because my last name starts with Z." I'm like, okay, what does that mean? It's like I never come on their list, because I'm way last in the list, so they never call me. So that's good. So those are the kind of things that happen. But this thing, it's right up front, easy for you to identify. You don't have to go through a long list, and you know where the gaps are. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that. Yeah, we're all busy,
Thank you,
right?
Naeem. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing. Cody, would you like to elaborate where Ashley left off here and what Naeem had talked about with the technology to really, bring this full circle for those listening here on this video?
Yeah, I would love to. Thanks so much for the chance, team. So, I mean, as we know, and as Ashley alluded to, most practice management softwares are an archaic database of patient information. So, Dental Intelligence steps in and it takes that information and groups it together in easy to understand metrics so that the dental practice team knows exactly what to do with the information to help the practice grow and to take best care of their patients. So really it's going to help identify, three very basic but pressing questions for a practice, which is, where are you now? Where do you want to be? And how are you going to get there? Now, we've spoken about all this low-hanging fruit and all of this data, and there's a couple things that come to my mind, which is great. We have this, now what? And that is where the second component of our technology comes in, which is our practice, which is our patient engagement or communications tool. So when it comes to things that we spoke to, like collection of money, getting patients back in seat, sending out treatment plans, or just simply inviting them to schedule, that is where the second component in our patient engagement technology comes in. And I hope that you'll be able to join us on our next session where I go over all of that outreach and how to reel in that low-hanging fruit.
Well, thank you so much, Cody. And we would like to have all the viewers or those that will be viewing this later, encourage you to pass this on to other dentists. This is all designed to kind of give you some awareness, allowing you to draw your own conclusion of where you are in your practice and knowing that you can move forward if you can learn to leverage resources and other things that perhaps are not in your wheelhouse, because they don't have to be in your wheelhouse. It's just knowing that those resources are there that can be learned by other people in your team and your staff, and allowing these resources to do what they do best. And that has helped to now pinpoint the areas that you can make improvements, that you can increase your revenue, increase your treatment plans, and be able to collect better, and thus reducing that percentage off your 90-day, 60 to 90-day, and so on. Again, we got more to come here, more education on our next video. We hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. We encourage you to follow everybody that's on here on LinkedIn, and also to have some comments to this video that you'll be seeing here on LinkedIn, amongst other areas and other social media. And again, we look forward to connecting with you at a time that's convenient best for you. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you then.